Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Crumpet Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. Say, man, get on your phone and call somebody and try to figure it out. But if you're trying to figure out who I am, I'm the 5-star general. To mask or not to mask? That's the question all around the country. But who do we trust? The same politicians that give it to us every day? We're going to talk about it tonight. Let's get ready, man. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for taking the time out to tune in. Because you know, without you guys, we would not have a show. And I really appreciate you taking time out to hang out with your boy, man. I started off a little bit different tonight. I wasn't here last night because I had to attend a school board meeting virtually. And we'll get into that, but that's why I wasn't here. Tomorrow, I guess you can call it the culmination of what me and 62 other kids did. Back in 1985, we were football players at Jackie A. Senior High School, and we were the number 2 ranked team in the country by USA Today. And we had to play the state championship against the Friday Night Light Boys, Odessa Permian. And the night before the game, we had a big players only meeting, and we made an agreement that we would make people remember us the rest of their lives. We went out the next day, and them guys that you seen with the book, with the movie, all of that, Odessa Permian, Friday Night Light Boys. We went out there and we beat them cats 37-0. Finished off a 16-0 season. And it took a many moons, but some has labeled us the greatest to ever play in Texas high school football history. And tomorrow, them 63 kids get inducted into the very first class of the brand new HISD Hall of Honor. With, I can't remember everybody, but I know Monica Lamb, who was in Parade All-American at Yates girls basketball player, played at USC, won multiple championships with the Houston Comets. She's going in. Craig Biggio, he's going in. The great one from Wheatley High School, Jackie Carr, is going in. Darryl Green from Jones, David Big Daddy Latin from Worthing. These good people who are legends in their own rights are in the very first class that's going to be inducted. It's tomorrow at Del Mar Stadium, and I think it starts at 4 o'clock. If you want to see history, stop what you're doing. Get to Del Mar. The ticket's only $5. And we go into the Hall of Fame. And everywhere we go as a team, we carry the banner for the guys that are no longer here. For the great one himself, the GOAT, Johnny Bailey. If you've never seen him play, you really wouldn't understand. When it comes to football in Houston, we talking about a playground legend that everybody knew was destined for the pros. He was our teammate. Gary Williams, Kenneth Payne, Cedric Hill, Bo James Christian, Derwin Frazier, Darren Nash. They're no longer here, but they're there with us because we take them wherever we go. So tomorrow afternoon, those 63 kids will get the highest honor that HISD has ever bestowed upon a team of any sport. We're the first team to go in out of any sport. And it's an honor. I want to thank the athletic director of HISD, Mr. Andre Walker, and the committee And no matter how I'm feeling, I'll be there because the team say that's what we do. And when we do something, we do it as a team. You can always catch us as a team. And I'll tell you something, man. You don't have to be blood brothers to be brothers. But they the closest thing that I've ever seen to having a brother. Love them to death. It's always an argument when we in the same room. And it's always a football argument. And let me tell you something, man. To be in there, the great Vince Young, if I'm correct, is on that list also tomorrow. So we're gonna be in a room with some certified Hall of Famers, man. You know, David Ladden is in the NBA Hall of Fame. Craig Biggio, you know, great Houston Astro all those years, man. And Darryl Green from the Washington Redskins, Hall of Famer. But them 63 kids can stand right next to them and say we represented our school, our community, and this school district to the highest level. And tomorrow they kind of seal a deal for us. And nobody has ever won a state championship in HISD since we won one in 1985, which is crazy. You see what I'm saying? Which is crazy. All right, tonight, I want to talk about these masks. To mask or not to mask. And everything that I'm going to say is just my opinion. If you have an opinion, then, you know, jump in here with me in the comments and I'll read your comments and all that. One of the biggest things going on around the country is the Delta variant running wild and local government superseding state government as it pertains to mandatory mask issues. And the thing about it, I was reading an article today from senior legal analyst from Fox News in Houston, Chris Tritico. I've battled him many times representing teachers and different things. Pretty decent dude. He said, ultimately, if it goes to the Supreme Court, then the Supreme Court cannot, you know, rule on emotions. They cannot rule on fear. They have to rule on the way that the Constitution is written. This is what Chris Tritico was saying. And he said, basically, there's no authority that can supersede what the governors put out. There is no local authority that can supersede what the governors put out. But I got questions about all of this. Maybe y'all can answer some of them. A mask, is it going to stop anyone from getting whatever's out there? Does it actually stop it? Is there data to prove it? Because every time it seems to come up, no one can seem to provide inconclusive, inconclusive, whatever. Anything concrete to say that if you wear it, you won't get it. You have a lot of people that say when people like County Judge Lena Hidalgo, creates these mandatory mask situations, that she's overstepping her boundaries. And then you have some people, well, man, just put the mask on. It's gonna save everybody. Smoking this cigarette is my choice. It's my life choice. Michelle Henderson, my friend from when we were kids, a nurse, tell me all the time, stop smoking. This is my choice. And in life, we get to have choices and we get to make the decisions that we want to make. We get to make those decisions. Is it fair Or should we trust the people who are asking us to do this? So if I sit here and I just put one out, if I sit here and I want to smoke a cigarette, who can stop me? This is my body. This is me. This is what I do. You can't force me to not do it. Now, if we care so much about people, I'm just saying, if we care so much about people, right? Why don't we get rid of these? They give us a disease, a terminal disease that you say that you don't even have a cure for. But yet you don't get rid of them. You continue to allow us to be able to go and get them. So if this gives us cancer, why won't you make it mandatory that they stop selling them? But what you do is you put on these things, you put this warning on the side of them. You can't see it because of the thing. But it says the Surgeon General's warning. Smoking causes lung cancer, heart disease, emphysema, and may complicate pregnancies. But yet you've not put a mandate on the manufacturers to not sell them to us. Well, let's try it a different way. Hold on. I'm a little old school. And every now and then I like to have me a drink. You know, when you're old school, you drink that Paul Mason. Old school. So let me ask you a question. Alcohol used to be illegal. But alcohol, if you consume too much, if you drink it consistently and too much, it gives you cirrhosis of the liver. And those that have cirrhosis of the liver, my father had it because he was a functioning alcoholic. His liver basically dropped out of his body at the end. But you sell this every single day. You tell us these and this, along with other things, are life choices. They're life choices. It's life choices. Let me read Claude's comment. It's fine to do whatever you want to your own body, but the question arises if public tax dollars are used to treat your disease and associated disabilities. I don't understand that question or that statement, but I'll get back to what I was saying. I found it interesting. But if these are life choices, then we get to choose. So if you're saying that you drinking alcohol is not the equivalent to the mask, because if you don't put the mask on, it could endanger other people. But when you drink enough of this and get behind the wheel of a car, you sometimes end up killing people. You sometimes end up killing people. But that is your choice. See, I'm going to tell y'all, I said it last night, and I'm going to say it again today. Black folk need to educate themselves. You need to educate yourself. Let me read your comment, Ron, because I'm ready for y'all tonight. 5 stars, please stop making false analogies of smoking a cigarette or wearing a seatbelt or wearing or to wear a mask. Wearing a mask don't prevent the wearers from getting COVID, slows down you from infecting someone else by controlling. Do you know this for a fact? Or are you telling me something that you read? Okay, let me finish it because I'm slows down you from infecting somebody else by controlling the body spread. So you wearing a mask save me. I don't know you. I don't know you. Did you give a damn about me when I was in the hospital for 23 days? Damn near dead. Did you come see me? Did you care about me then? Did you care about me when my stomach was septic? And I'm standing in front of a podium fighting for children and we're dying at the same time. Did you care about me then? Do we care about our communities that are being ravished every day by the pandemic called black on black violence that nobody seems to want to step up for? Do you care then, or are you reading something and repeating something to me that somebody has told you? I'm asking a question. See, me, I do my own research. I do my own research. So I'm going to get back to what I was saying. If you care about me, don't just care about me because of no goddamn Delta variant. Care about me every single day. And the people that's spinning the narrative don't give a damn about you. And they don't give a damn about me, let alone give a damn about some kids. Because if it's that goddamn bad, and we're watching all over the country, and HISD has not gone back to school yet, you see in the state of Louisiana, there's 200 kids that have already gotten sick in a week's time. But HISD is watching this. And if it's that bad and we care, you don't send them kids back into that school at all. You don't take chances. So what you telling me is I need to go get me a gun, put it right here and play Russian roulette. But hold on, I'm going to tell you the kind of gun I'm going to get. I'm going to get me a 9mm that I can put the clip in. Now let's play. Because if you send them back in there, you are endangering. If you're saying it's that bad, you are endangering children regardless if they wear a mask or not. So are you sending them back in there because they need to learn in a classroom setting? Or are you sending them back in there because you ain't made no money off of them in almost 2 years? We know so much about these viruses, but yet we don't know nothing. You know what they tell you. You know what they tell you. Now, am I telling you not to get vaccinated? No. Am I telling you to get vaccinated? No. That's your choice. But if that jab was so good and it was so what it's supposed to be, then why don't you mandate we all get the jab and the hell with the mask? Which one you making the most money off of? The jab or the mask? 65 million, let's just say 65 million Americans. $100 million Americans, 2 jabs, 100 million. That's 200 million Americans with the jab. But that's far more many mass than a jab. Now, here's my thing. Well, Monroe, if you don't get the jab, you might die. I was born to die. And I ain't scared. And you want to know why? Because I done been there and done that. I done been there and done that. I saw the light. And I'm not playing with you. I saw the light. So I answer to a higher power. You Christians out there get on my nerves some days. So you think when it's your time, long as you got the jab, you ain't going nowhere, but you go to church every Sunday and they say when God call you, he call you. The reason why we are not living as long as our great-grandmothers and grandfathers, and even our grandmothers and grandfathers, because everything that we put into our bodies is contaminated. Them people live to be 100, 104, 106 because they ate off the farm. It didn't have all the chemicals and all the other stuff in it. Everything they putting in us seems to mess us up and we don't be here long. So my question is, who do we trust right now? Who do we trust? You gonna sit there and listen to Dr. Fauci? So you think he's the top medical person in the world and you think his information is great? You have the option to listen to him. Okay, so you're gonna sit there and you're gonna listen to these politicians. Boy, I thought you were smart. You talking about the politicians who have far more better access to health care than you have. You talking about the politicians that don't do nothing for us but keep us poverty stricken, and they make money off our demise. These are people you gonna trust. I'm just asking. I'm just asking. You talking about the politicians that's getting all the grant money right now and giving it to all their friends to service the grants. That's why you getting these free masks and water and all this stuff and all these disinfectants and all this stuff. You gonna trust them? Well, I'm from Houston. I don't trust none of them. Because like I said, if they cared about me, and I will say there was at least 3 politicians that would constantly call and check on me when I was sick. It is multiple politicians that call me every single day, man, how your health doing? So when are we going to start caring 24/7 about everything? Now, you don't want me to make an analogy about a cigarette because it's going to make sense. That this whole internet thing and us being able to talk, if we say the wrong thing, they want to shut us down. You don't want it to make sense. You don't want an opinion, an opposite opinion in this matter at all. You don't want an opposite opinion. And for those of y'all, they care about us. Okay, they care so much when they gonna do something about them cancer clusters out in Fifth Ward. That shit been killing people for years, man. When they gonna do something about that? The same people that's on the news in Harris County right now been knowing that them cancer clusters been in Fifth Ward forever. When they gonna do something about it? And we supposed to believe all this stuff. I'm gonna read some of these comments, man. Let me read some of these comments, and I'm gonna start here. Okay. And you know what I find so unusual? That the people that's trying to make everything mandatory, why y'all keep doing press conferences without no masks? Why y'all not social distancing when y'all together? Y'all raising money right now. Y'all in the rooms together. But you want to control us. Pioneer. He said, Frank Nitty, the same people offering you the solutions are the same ones who gave you the problem to begin with. Laugh out loud. The answer is for us to build our own hospitals and make our own medicine. And he also says control is another goal too. They don't want to kill everybody. They need workers, but reduce it and tailor it to a more controllable level. The same people that's telling you our kids gotta wear masks in schools, they stand in front of podiums and they don't have no masks on. They not social distancing. But you can tell me what to do. You do, my opinion is you do what's best for you and your family. Y'all ain't figured it out yet. They get out here and they told you to vote for them people. And then when the hurricane came through a few years back, some of y'all still got yellow tarps on your house. So when they gonna take care of you since they care about you so much? We got one of the worst crime rates in the country. When they actually gonna do something about it? When they gonna take care of this? Because they care about us so much. When they gonna do that? If it's that bad, why would you send kids into a building where if you risk the life of one, that's one too many? Something don't smell right. Now, do I believe that we have a problem? I think we do have a problem. But it's my choice on how I deal with it. It's my choice on how I deal with it. So here's my thing. You got hit a year ago with this, year and a half ago. Then it eased off. That gave you enough time and flexibility to do some things differently, get some things in order, because you didn't think it was going to come back, and now it can come back, and we back at point A. But you care about us. You're in positions to be able to do what we can't do. But yet you're not prepping. You're not preparing. You're not doing anything except running your mouth. Except running your mouth. Now, the reason I said that black folk, we ain't on it. We ain't on it. We're not as knowledgeable as we should be. Because somewhere in all of this, it's about control. It's about controlling you. It's about controlling you. It's about making you do what they want you to do. I watched the school board meeting last night, and they mandated masks. And as soon as they got through, Judith Cruz told the superintendent on a hot mic, if you want to mandate vaccines, I'll support you. Who you talking to? Mandated for who? Who? Mandated for who? You talking about the teachers, the administrators? Or are you talking about the kids? Mandated for who? And the thing is, who are you, Miss Cruz, to make that type of decision for somebody else? You know what I noticed? When you're eating right, your immune system is high. How many prominent members of the Nation of Islam have died since all this started? And they've been told not to take the jab. And I know tons of them that didn't. Man, let me tell you something. I don't have the time, nor do I have the patience to sit here and listen to some of these politicians. Now, the reason I'm speaking on not being knowledgeable enough, who has the ultimate power in the state of Texas? You could play the game with your district courts in Austin and Houston and Dallas. Then you don't, then it may end up at the Texas State Supreme Court, all Republicans. But God forbid that it ends up in the Supreme Court on who has the power to mandate anything. Who has the power? The Supreme Court is going to yield to the governors of all these states. Now, if I'm wrong, go and read your Constitution. Stop reading the naked books. Stop reading the coloring books. Go and read the laws that you are governed by. And then you will clearly understand that no matter if you like Greg Abbott or not, if he pushes the issue up to the Supreme Court, he will win. But he gave people options. He didn't force anything on people. And these people that are saying we have to do this, they are not doing it consistently. So why should I believe them when they are not being consistent in their actions? You people may not like Abbott. DeSantis in Florida, you may not like him. Your problem is not the governor. Your problem is your legislators who ain't doing their damn jobs. That's your problem. You will have to yield to the governor. Lena Hidalgo, who are you? You are a confused little girl who's been put in a position to be the puppet that Ellis wanted you to be. But you notice something, Hidalgo? Ellis don't put himself in the line of fire. He puts you in the line of fire. Becky say stop watching CNN. I don't watch none of that no more. Because it's media nowadays is just straight biased. Bottom line, it's just biased. They're going to tell a story they want to tell. But if you understood the way the Constitution was wrote, then you will yield to the governors of these states when they do certain executive orders. The same way Biden can't force them to do anything because he's at the federal level. You can file all the lawsuits that you want. It's easy to go file a lawsuit and get this in court, and it costs $200,000 or $300,000. You know why? Because they ain't paying it. We paying it. Our tax money paying for some of these frivolous lawsuits. So the mask should be mandatory. Then we shouldn't be catching nothing. That's the way I see it. But if the governor gives you the option, that's your choice. It brings us back to choices. They don't want them kids in them schools because they care. Because they care that the kids ain't learning nothing. Oh, they're not learning. They need face-to-face instruction. No, what you need to do is give them a quality education, because when it wasn't no pandemic, they wasn't learning nothing then. Y'all was cooking the books. When it wasn't a pandemic, black kids still had a gap in learning with white kids. When it wasn't no pandemic, black and brown kids were still being suspended at a higher rate than white kids. They cooking the books. So now you need them back in the classroom. So whoever got the $40 million contract for the state accountability test, you'd rather pay them to do the work than not do anything. Come on, bro. If you care about them so much, why you not educating them? Why am I going to a forum and answering questions before the forum on the questionnaires about issues that we've been discussing in education for the last 10 years? But you care about them. Where I'm confused at, because I'm a football player. That's what I did. You can't even wear a face shield. That's you know, it has the tint on it. They need a clear shield to see your eyes. And you breathing, you huffing and puffing. Why you ain't making them wear no mask under that? Because you got some of these schools. I wish you would put a mask mandate on Duncanville, who got to play De La Salle the first game on ESPN. Why you not putting no masks on them football players? Ain't no goddamn social distancing at the line of scrimmage. Ain't no 6 feet apart at no line of scrimmage. Is it social distancing when you're gang tackling and you're breathing on people, people spitting on you? Man, talk to your boy, man. If you care, you're going to shut it all down. But you want them kids in them classrooms all around the country to make money off them. That's what it's about. You get paid by the number of kids show up at the school every day. You get your Title I money. You get your regular funding by the number of kids that show up at the schools every day. This is all wrong. And me, I can't stand and not speak my truth. As a man, I don't have a right, or as an elected official, I don't have a right to mandate shit. I mandate right now that all you crooked bastards go to jail. So can one of you police officers go pick their asses up? Because I know at least 75 politicians in Harris County and surrounding counties that should be under the goddamn jailhouse. They should be dealing with COVID in the jailhouse. Why don't you put a mandate on that? If you read the Constitution and you clearly understand some things, your liberties are at stake. Black people, I said this last night. So if they get to mandating, what happens if they come out with a mandate and say put all the black folk back in slavery? But you done gave them the power to do that because you falling for it. All these, look, man, let me tell you something. I'm for kids being safe. I'm for everybody going to school and coming home every day. But it's just certain things that you cannot do, not the way the Constitution is written. So what happens if that works in their favor and they come and say, well, I tell you what, now we're going to say, we're going to take your guns. What you going to do? What you going to do? See, I'd rather die on my knees before anything. I'd rather die on my back than be down on my knees. I'm not in beg mode. I'm not asking nobody for permission to do nothing. No, but I'm saying, Alan, that if you start playing these games with these mandates, what stops them from doing what they want to do at that point? You are blessed. We live in the United States of America. They say the greatest country in the world. But some of the things you're doing seem a little foreign to me. Some of the things that you putting in place is things that they deal with in other countries when they control the people. We're not meant to be controlled to a certain degree. We have certain freedoms. Now, y'all know how I feel. The Negro still is not free. But as a Black man and an African American, I'm entitled to certain freedoms. And can't no little county judge that don't really know much of nothing tell me what to do with me or my child. I tell you what, if it's that bad, why don't you parents pull your kids out of them school districts? Why don't you homeschool them? Why don't you keep them home? I'm bringing my man on. We'll probably do it this weekend so he can tell you about K-12. Say, if you're going to play the game, you got to play it all the way, man. You got to be in this all the way. We have certain freedoms and liberties that we're entitled to. These people making moves because that's best for them. And now you want to say what's best for you is best for me. Hell no. Can you come over here and pay some of these goddamn bills then? Because I think it would be better for you to pay them than me. We're entitled to this. And it's not right to a certain degree. Some of the things that these people are doing. When the Republicans. No. You got Black people pissed off right now on both sides. You got white people pissed off right now on both sides. Asians, Latinos, and all of these people. I've been watching Twitter. I've been watching Facebook. And everybody in Houston that's running their mouth is crooked as all outdoors. Man, y'all don't give a damn about us. Y'all don't give a damn about us. If you care about us so much, why don't you take your ass down Bissonnette and do something with that sex trafficking you know that's going on? Since you care about us so much. Why don't you walk into your schools and do something about all them guns on them campuses since you care about these kids so much? You understand what I'm saying? No, a lot of this is tied to money. A lot of this is tied to money. And it is what it is. And that's just the way that I feel. But nobody is going to take my liberties or my freedoms away from me. Now, me, I abide by the rules. When I fly, they say you got to have a mask on. Okay, cool. I'll fly with the mask on. But when I get to where I'm going, if I don't want to wear a mask, I'm not going to wear one. And that's all it boils down to. You people do not have the power, whether we like Greg Abbott or not, you do not have the power to defy his order. Now, you got your friends in them county courthouses that's putting up these TROs and, man, take this shit down there to the Texas State Supreme Court or to the Supreme Court and watch what happened to that shit. You don't have the power to do it. But yet you create curriculums in our schools. You create curriculums in our schools that teach us about following the law. So let me read Katina's question. What's wrong with wearing a mask? I don't want to if I don't have to. That's the first thing. Why is wearing a mask such an insult? It's not an insult. If I don't want to wear one, it may not match my clothes. If I'm feeling congested and I got to get on a plane, then I can't wear that mask. I'm not going to wear that mask. I'll have breathing problems. And that's me for real. We talking about we don't want to give up our freedoms. You goddamn right. And if you don't know what they is, go research it. The vaccine is not a cure. I don't know because I ain't never took it. I believe in God. God is my vaccine. God is my vaccine. I don't need no help from no vaccine if I got God. God is my vaccine. Okay, so the same thing that you just said, what's wrong with wearing a mask? Why is it a problem if I don't want to wear one? Why is wearing a mask such an insult? Why should it be if you wearing it, why worry about me? This is my life and my body. On an average day, don't nobody give a damn if I live or die. They don't give a fuck about our bodies when we living in these goddamn ghettos. They don't give a fuck about our bodies when we out here gotta pump gas in the car at night and motherfuckers shooting at us at the gas station for no reason. Do they give a damn about our bodies then? All I'm saying is your choice. And if it's my choice, then I get to choose if I don't want to wear it or if I want to wear it. But like I say, certain instances, I don't have a problem putting it on. And I really put the motherfucker on because I don't want to be bothered. I don't need nobody coming messing with me. Because I keep that camera on. You see somebody get whooped on that plane. So I put it on so I don't feel like dealing with them today. I don't feel like dealing with them today. But why should we have to wear one? Because somebody told us to? I tell y'all what you do. The same way you got medical professionals flying in front of them cameras, promoting this. Why don't you get with some of them that's telling you what's going on in them hospitals for real? I bet you don't do that. Because you might get an earful. If you choose to wear one, you wear it. If you don't, that should be your choice. So here's my question. How do you handle this? Because like Fort Bend, it's an option to wear the mask in school. Some districts, it's an option. HISD is mandatory. So what you going to do when the kids come to school without it? What you going to suspend them? Or you finna segregate the school and put the unmasked kids in the classroom? What you going to do? You're obligated to teach them. You're obligated to teach them. I'm gonna read your comment, Katina, because me and you, we just gotta argue every time. He's the new he ain't no goddamn Pied Piper. I'm gonna stop right there on that Pied Piper. You know who the Pied Piper is? These Negro politicians that's getting grant money to say the things that they saying. Come on, me and you, we black. And some days we just ain't gonna let no white folk tell us nothing. He the Pied Piper? Oh, I get it. I get it. I get it. And as far as me, I ain't take it. And ain't gonna take it. Well, guess what, Mr. Monroe? You won't be able to fly unless you show your vaccination card. Guess I'm going to the rental car company. Every time somebody coughs, they ain't got the COVID. Every time somebody got a regular chest cold, they ain't got the COVID. Do you understand the position that they are about to put these school police officers in these schools? I talked to one today, say, man, we don't have no jurisdiction to deal with these kids on these masks in HISD. That's on the administration. They say the only thing we can do is if they tell them to get off the campus, then we're going to be nice and we're going to try to get them off the campus peacefully. I say, man, and trust me, he don't like it. I'm saying that the people that are telling us all this here, they look like us. They getting a bunch of money. A whole bunch of money. But yet when and this is what I'm basing this on, Katina. When I see some of them in their press conferences, they not social distancing. They don't have masks on. But these the people we got to listen to. I ain't watching that news. I ain't, man, the news is so conflicting, man. You be lost your goddamn mind listening to them news channels, man. I ain't trying to hear nothing they talking about. Alan Guillory say 5-star, you know the hospitals get more government funding. Hold on. More government funding if they list the cause of death, COVID-19. They was firing nurses for running their mouths at the hospital. You ain't got to tell me. I already know. I already know. You know, I be going to the doctor, man, and every time I go, and I don't like them COVID tests. Why you got to stick this thing up my nose, man? But I tell them this every time. I came in here without the COVID and I'm leaving without it. I don't give a damn what y'all got to do with me. I don't give a damn what you got to do with me. But I ain't coming here with it and I ain't leaving with it. Because God forbid I catch it while I'm in the hospital. I'm not here to argue and debate with y'all. I'm not finna get into it with you if you took the vaccine or if you didn't take the vaccine. That's your business. It ain't mine. It ain't my business to know if you took it or if you didn't. You notice as much as we be talking, I've never asked anybody if they've taken it. I don't care. I'm reading some comments, bro. I don't care if you took it. And for those that feel you don't have any liberties or freedoms, then go to your favorite restaurant, go get your food at the back door. Then you'll understand. Somebody tried to take that from you, you'd be in fighting mode. Somebody died to give this to me. Well, it might be true. There's just certain things that I'm not finna deal with, that I'm not gonna do. And it is what it is. So from me to y'all, If you do it, do it. But I'm not finna sit here, and I'm listening to this woman last night. You mandated the mask, superintendent house. If you mandate the vaccine, then I'll support you. I'm gonna be smoking something. And I'm looking at these people applauding these people. And I looked at the people who were really all on Twitter and after the board meeting, during the board meeting, and all of them got something to gain. The ones that's really bumping their mouth, if them kids go back in them schools. Y'all that's watching, and I ain't talking to you regular folk, because I got some of them that's watching. They know who I'm talking to. If the teachers go back to work, then some of y'all make more money. If the kids go back to school, then some of these old bogus after school programs crank all the way back up. And then some of these trustees can make their side hustles. And they ain't getting chump change on them side hustles. Three Feathers Down say, if you now are bend to the shots, you'll bend and bow to the mark. A lot of people need them kids back in school, man, for them side hustles, man. The issue, Becky asked me, did the HISD school board vote on the use of tasers? The vote failed 5-3. The only three that voted to give tasers to the HISD police were the three black ones. And one of them, my opponent. I was asked, how do I feel about it? I said, I don't believe they need tasers. I believe they need the technology that they're trying to get. But I don't believe the tasers, no. Let me read what she said. Okay. Katina said, my children are, let me put it up here. It'll cover me up a little bit, but it's better for me to put it up there. My children are $, a number count. Gregory Wayne Abbott wants that Fed money for the Republicans. All these non-Caucasian people are eating off the government dollar, and he's not happy. These people are opening up their own businesses, using this hard time to come up. He will not sit by and allow these things to happen. He's greedy. That's what I think he meant, and entitled, and he does not give two shits about our kids. He can afford health care. His kids are probably in private school, well protected if they do get S, whatever that means. You might be 100% right. The legislation is controlled by the Republicans. Your Democrats need some different representation. There are a lot of things that people are doing right now that they should not be doing in politics and business and everything. So if we're going to put a mask mandate on the schools, can we put some on their favorite, especially city government? Can we put some in county government? Can we put some on their favorite nightclubs that they get any kickbacks from? These motherfuckers ain't wearing no masks in them nightclubs. So it's optional in the nightclubs, but it's mandatory in the schools. It's optional at the trail ride, but it's mandatory in the schools. Oh, they're not getting kickbacks from these clubs and different things. I remember when Floyd Mayweather came to the address one night. That's when we had that freeze a few years back. The problem I had with it is that club was wide open, crunk. And they wasn't even through building it. They didn't even have the building permits. And not one elected official knew about it? Yeah, they knew. But they make their money that way. I'm going to ask y'all again, because you're very opinionated. Why are we not putting these restrictions on everything? You know, ain't no social distancing on no school buses. They don't even have enough bus drivers. That mean ain't enough buses moving. They're gonna pile them kids on them buses. So what good is social distancing? I mean, what good is the mask if you're not social distancing? If you're not doing it all, then explain that to me. If it endangers one child, then it shouldn't be done at all. That's how I feel. But y'all got some great comments. Y'all ought to go back and read some of these comments that y'all have made. And this hour went by too fast. I will continue to be vocal on any issue that I choose to be vocal on. I will continue to speak my truth. And I will continue to make the best decisions for my family. Because nobody gives a damn about my family like me. Say it's a reason I'm the best in the business. Get on the phone and call somebody and ask them about this little short black man. You know who I am. They call me the 5-star general. It's the war zone, baby. I'm giving checkups from the neck up. And it is what it is. Until Monday. If y'all coming, I see you at the Hall of Honor tomorrow. Del Mar Stadium, 4 o'clock. The great ones. The first team to be inducted. The 1985 Texas 5A state football champions from Jackie A. Senior High School. I holler at y'all.